Hello guys, DJ Aaron here. It's been about a week since I've made a video, and today we are going to talk about why an all-star show like this is now starting to surface and starting to come up. Um, I wanted to kind of revisit the idea of getting stereo dust particles involved. Even though we've had a lot of differences, we've had, you know, quite a bit of issues in the past, but, you know, at the end of the day, we were all a group, we were all friends, we were, you know, pretty much there for each other at certain shows, and, um, I supported SDP the best way that I could uh, when I did. And they've supported me through hard times too when I could not broadcast. So, with that, I'm kind of actually giving back to how much they've helped me in the past. And when I left pretty much in a bad sort of direction. And I did not want to go into detail on that bad direction. It, it pretty much affected me. Um, it pretty much affected me for about a year after. Uh, and it took me quite a bit of time to see exactly how much it has affected me. Um, about a month after, I started looking at everybody's, uh, things they were saying in the members only part of the forums. And it actually kind of got me to be like, okay, this is what I've heard from a lot of the other members and whatnot. So, what can I do to change that? At the time, I was doing my own broadcasting network called Magic Smoke Electronics. Well, a year later, that did not work out very well because, less people started getting interested and it just wasn't working out the best of the ability. But, you know, again, too, people have their differences, and sometimes, differences can weigh in on that. So, there isn't any Magic Smoke Electronics now, at least not for a while, so I don't have to worry about that. And I also am thinking, what if I gave SDP another go out of this? And maybe I probably have learned something. And maybe I have uh, actually gotten wiser with age. But how did this All Star show wanting to come back to do it come about? Well, like I said, during the time where I was doing the Magic Smoke Electronics thing, I was like, you know what? Next year would mark the 8-year anniversary of the original All Star show. 2018 would be the year for that. I've been pushing around the idea. I've been in contact with Chris off and on. Uh, he would say, it would depend on what the other members would think, what the other members uh, would do, etc. And now, when the time comes, uh, I'm now starting to reach out, and it is one of the things that I want to um, get up and going, because um, I think this is just me saying that, I really think that this time away has kind of changed me in such a way. And yes, people can change over time, and it has happened. So, um, you know, besides all the issues and drama and stuff like that, there's basically no more of that. And I know that people want to hear it from me first, but at the same time, you know, they kind of have to back up a little bit, and they don't want to let their guard down. But, at the end of the day, the All Star show is a lot of fun. And if we can get back to doing what we loved to do, and, you know, have fun doing it, I could see maybe a part-time return to stereo dust particles, maybe to get things back up and going again. Um, you know, like I said, I've realized that SDP was more than just a, group. It was kind of like a second family in a way, because they helped me out when I couldn't really do anything. They helped me out when I was basically couldn't, at a time where I couldn't do much of anything. Um, we all go through struggles, and it's, sometimes you get out of those struggles, and also it's easy to learn from your mistakes and rather make them again. And I think I kind of proved somewhat to the effect of that I can improve on that. And yeah, there has been drama, but 2017 wasn't really, should I say, caused by me and to the effect of that. I think it had a lot to do with the Twilight FM situation more than myself. I mean, there really is some things that can be forgiven for, and I really do think that that whole debacle thing can be forgiven, because I really didn't have no hand in it, and I was really trying to stay away from it at the same time. Also, you also got to understand and realize that during that whole process, I was just as dumbfounded as everybody else was. And, I wasn't, really wanting to get into that per se, because I think that, I was, like, I didn't want to, get involved with that and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. What I'm saying is, over time people can change, and they can change for the better, and you know, depends on what other people think. Um, right now, I'm really working hard at, you know, trying to stay out of drama situations, um, trying to focus on what matters, trying to literally um, make sure that if I ever come back a third time around the stereo dust particles, I can kind of be like, hey, look, I know we had some, um, you know, I know we had some issues in the past. I know I could be a bit of a pain in the ass, but in all reality, uh, my shows would probably be better if stereo dust particles was a part of it. And and this All Star show would be kind of that breaking ground, uh, kind of my sincere to SDP as a group, and more of a sincere of things, letting things go, uh, and letting the past go as I move forward. So, and I also wanted to put that out there because not only that this All Star show is a part of SDP history, it is also a part of my history. I created this thing. I pitched the idea to stereo dust particles. I did quite a bit of this, and it would be a shame not to do it. But I would love to see everyone get involved. Old members, new members, you name it. And it also gives me a chance to actually do things that I have never done before. Because if you remember that my show was just as much a part of SDP like it was for everyone else. So I would have to say that maybe there is a change from this, and we'll see what happens when everything moves forward and I can further plan this thing, because this is a part of history, and I would like to see this part of history written. I would like to see this part of history actually come forward and be like, hey, yeah, this is a great part of history. This is a part of history that's being written, and we need that part of history, and it wouldn't be an SDP show without myself. And I would like to get back out there and do it again. I think it would be the best thing to do, and it'd be the right thing to do. And I think everyone that would probably get involved would like to see this type of show happen, because this All Star show kind of founded uh, a lot of the group activities, the group shows that you see today. And I mean, without that, it'd be another group just trying to do things their own way. But I mean, we all, like I said, we all have issues. We all have things. But when it comes down to it, nothing can actually um, nothing can actually surpass what can actually be done on such a scale. And the haters will probably hate it, but it's a part of history that needs to be written. It's a part of history that needs to move forward. And I think if it shows any commitment and any level of commitment at all, I would be very grateful. I would be, I would have a smile on my face. That's how it would be. I would definitely have a smile on my face because putting this show together for me is, getting back to something that maybe I fell out of enjoyment of, but want to actually give it a go again. Just like I fell out of enjoyment of STP when all that when all those drama issues happened. I was, at the time I was really falling out of enjoyment, and that happens. I mean, it wasn't because I hated any members or anything. Like always, it's something you have to face on your own. It's, something you have to come to terms and realize that sometimes, sometimes you just have to wake up and realize, oh, I am missing out on a good thing, and maybe I should try again and see what happens. So, we'll see what this All-Star show brings, and we'll see what happens. I'm not saying that what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm not saying that I'm just going to plan this because I want to plan this. I'm saying that I'm very serious about planning this. I'm being very focused, and it is really one of those shows that I think people haven't tuned into in a long time. So if I now start working on the planning phases, which I am in the process of doing, we could have an all-star show ready by, I would probably say, about as early as the week before the entire event goes down, which is my deadline. Um, there is actually a certain deadline that I want to meet, and it probably will end up happening. So uh, I will give you guys more updates when this entire thing uh, starts, you know, taking off. Um, there will be more updates coming soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to, like, if you guys don't hear another update from me for, I don't know, another week or two, it is probably because I'm waiting on answers about, anybody joining this type of show. Because the whole entire month of July is when planning really starts to kick in. And I really want to get this planning done. I would really like to see my idea of having an anniversary edition All Star show come to light. It would be good for not only me and Stereo Dust Particles, it'd also be good for, the viewers that tune in and whatnot. And the show would have to be held on Vaughn, because I don't have multi-broadcaster anymore, and to like literally broadcast on iVlog for just one day, it would take up so much time, and it would take up so much time to get the channel ready, etc. But have it on Vaughn Live. There is no time wasted. I could just give people the streaming info, and that would be called good. And given that, I think it would be a lot of fun. I would definitely like to see. I would definitely like to see a good turnout in such a way, because, for one, it is a show not to miss. And I think if people miss this type of show, they're missing out on something that is a part of history, and it could be the beginning of something even better. So, anyways, guys, that is it for this sort of update video. Peace out, practice and enjoy, and I guess we'll see you guys in the next one.